All right, brand babies. I don't even know where to start today because I'm a little pissed. Well, no, I'm a lot pissed. I'm a lot pissed. This was not the podcast I had dedicated for today, but it's the one I'm going to do. I was kicked off LinkedIn and I don't understand why. I have no clue because they sent me some ambiguous. Can I even say the word? Y'all know my shit is jacked up. Ambiguous. That's what I'm looking for. They sent me some ambiguous policies that don't even address what they accused me of, because part of it was about my identity, and the other part, what was it? Misrepresentation, and then I don't even know what the other part was. But it's like, seriously, as you know what? This is just the intro. We're gonna get into this. So stay tuned, babies.
Hey, brand babies. This is Grandma's Podcast, where we go in on personal branding without taking shit personally. Grandma's House is hosted by none other than the Ghetto Country Grandmother. She's here to share her experience, expertise, and education in a way that takes you from brand baby to brand leader. So come on in and hold on to your bourbon, because Grandma's about to spill the tea.
Hey, brand babies, this is your Ghetto Country Grandmother, and I am hot like fish grease. Yes, I am. I got kicked off LinkedIn. And while I know my language doesn't sit well with people, but it's the language I've been using for I don't know how long. I haven't changed anything. I haven't cussed less, whatever. And one of the reasons why I do use profanity is because, you know what, it's just the more comfortable place for me. It's me not having to censor myself when I'm sitting with clients, when I'm talking to a potential collaborator or whatever it is. Because you know this is how I already speak, then there's no confusion. And also when I'm doing what I do well, I don't have to figure out, it's like, oh shit, I just said shit, and try and catch all the things that come out of my mouth. So rather than do that, you know what? It just is what it is. But anyway, I'm not even sure that's why LinkedIn kicked me off. What did I do? I was on LinkedIn on the 27th. I responded to some comment or I liked it or whatever, but I was on LinkedIn. And I changed my headline because, and I say this and nobody really hears me say it because I just say it to a few people. But anyway, I changed my headline to include the part where I say Grandma's House is where personal brands go to grow the fuck up. I put that in my headline. It's always said that I was an empathic bitch. I guess they don't care if I call myself a bitch. But that's the only reason I could think that they would kick me off. But since they have no clear definition or policy about profanity, then what else could there be? Because my identity, it's not misrepresented. Because even in the little parentheses that they give you to put in that extra name, Ghetto Country Grandmother is trademarked, a registered trademark. Yes, I paid for that shit. So how in the fresh fuck are you going to tell me that I am misrepresenting my identity or that I'm not who I say I am? The other part that they said, it was that, I'm trying to think. Oh, inaccurate, what was it? Inaccurate profile information. I didn't change anything in my profile. I changed my headline. When they asked me to verify my identity, I sent them mofos a copy of my passport. I took a picture and sent them a copy of my passport. So if on my profile, it says Phyllis Williams Schroeder, and in parentheses, it says the Ghetto Country Grandmother with a registered trademark symbol, where's the misrepresentation? Where is the inaccuracy in my information? None of my shit is inaccurate. And I'm angry. I'm angry. And when I talk about it, I get angrier. But anyway, this is why last month I was talking about culture. And like I said, I'm not just basing it on heritage, but because somebody's sensibilities don't understand how I get down, and I'm not the only one. It's like, I'm you know what? I want to get through this and not have you guys listen to my and all that kind of stuff. But I am not the only one who speaks the way that I speak. It's just like someone made the assumption that my clients are all Black because, you know what, I speak Black. No, I don't speak Black. I speak like me. I speak ghetto country, hood adjacent by country mama. That's it. But the fact that I do this openly and I do it courageously, it upsets people. But it makes no, never mind when all these other people do it. I used the example of Gary Vee when I was interviewed by Chris Do. And he said, is it basically, am I being a hater or is it an observation? It's an observation. It's like when Black folks was leading rap, when they were the ones doing the rapping. Oh, I don't listen to that type of music. Oh my God. If I see another old ass person trying to get crunk and all this stuff, y'all getting on my nerves. You know, that's not the issue. Being ghetto country, like I said, it's about a personal brand. It's not me as a person. How I am as a person, yes, this is just a small smidge of that. But this is personal brand and personal branding. Now, because everybody else chooses to be a brand and use their own name, they get a pass. But because I'm using mine for how I do business, is being dismissed. Because the thing that I talk about, the reason I advocate for personal branding the way that I do is because I want people to be able to separate their personal life from their personal brand. Because I believe that what I do at home ain't nobody's fucking business unless I choose to share it. But what I do at home has nothing to do with how I do business. Y'all don't know if I done pissed my husband off or something I said, my daughter's hating on me. Y'all don't know none of that shit. And it's nobody's business. But how I am in my business and what results I can get you, that's all people should really care about. But there's become this thing and this notion that, you know what? Oh, tell them something personal. So they're like, I don't give a fuck if y'all don't like me. The only people that matter to me are the people who I'm trying to help because they understand and they get how I am. And they like me anyway. And I like them. But just trying to arbitrarily get, you know what, spread my business so folks will like me. No, I may as well pay people to like me. And that shit ain't happening either. But it brings me back to this atmosphere on LinkedIn. And I know, y'all, it may have been triggered by some automation shit and all that stuff, but I know somebody snitched on me. And I have a pretty good idea who it was, but I ain't gonna lay him bare. I'm not gonna drag him under the foot. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus. But this is the thing about, you know what? If you don't like someone's content, you do not have to listen. You do not have to engage. But because you decide to be the proprietary police and tell people how they should be because you don't fucking like it, it's like, really? I'm not in your house. You came into mine. And on LinkedIn, the content that I put out on my page, on my profile, that's my house. You don't have to connect. You don't have to follow. You can grow on by. If I am doing no harm to no one, that don't even sound right. I told you I'm bad English. But if I'm doing harm to no one, why is it any business of yours if I cuss, if I smoke my cigar, if I drink my bourbon? Sweetie, it doesn't matter. How people come across and how people get the job done. Like I said, if you have an employer with policies and procedures and regulations and all of that stuff, then you know what? Follow the rules. That's their house. They pay the cost to be the boss. But when, you know what, it has nothing to do with you, then mind your fucking business. And for LinkedIn to not even ask me or not even give me the opportunity to address whatever I supposedly did wrong speaks volumes about y'all don't give a fuck. Whoever told is like, oh, they must be right. And this is why toxic companies happen right now. And it's also why I do this at this level. Fuck a company. Let me get to the person first. Let me help them stand 10 toes down before they go out here and take on the world, because then they got to deal with this shit. And then most people, well, no, I won't even say most, some people will back down and say, oh, I was wrong. I'm not saying I was wrong. I will say I may have been disrespectful, but I don't even know if I was because I can't see what rule I broke. My culture that I'm building for my company is predicated on, you know what, this is how I roll. The language that people use within my company, I don't care if they cuss or not. My husband actually accuses me of making my clients cuss. because they get to that level of comfort. Oh, I can drop all the F-bombs with her. I don't have to watch what I'm going to say. They don't even have to watch if they're going to hurt my feelings. Sweetie, tell me straight up so that we can get your shit done. I'm strong enough to take it. I'm not taking this shit personally. This is business. This is about my money. And when LinkedIn kicked me out, y'all fucking with my money. But you know what? They don't have to allow me. So I still get that. I respect that. But at the same time, you know what? I can't count on you. And this is why people jump ship, and when you go all in on these platforms, and I have respect for the people that tell you, oh, let me help you build your following on LinkedIn. Do y'all even know about the saying of don't put all your eggs in one basket? The reason I count on LinkedIn is because I'm too fucking lazy to do all this shit on Instagram, TikTok, and all the rest of them, because I'm still a business of one. And LinkedIn does not have the algorithm trips that the rest of them do. They allow people who know you to see stuff, or their connections to see your stuff, even if they don't know you. And I like that. But I also know, you know what? This is LinkedIn's house. And to the best of my knowledge, I never disrespected LinkedIn's house. But I have all of these people in my DMs trying to sell me shit. Got some woman telling me, oh, I can help you with your academia. I'm not even in fucking academia. Oh, I can help you with your brand. Did you not read my profile? I know what the fuck to do with my brand. SEO, marketing. Oh, we have HR software. I don't even have a fucking HR department. So why aren't you really? How I do business and how I operate in this arena, sweetie, like I said, it's about personal branding. And this is why so many people are out here showing their ass. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but they're doing all the things because they're trying to be liked. And then people want us to adhere to mass appeal. Oh, well, tone it down so you don't offend anybody. Fuck offending anybody. If you find my shit offensive, sweetie, that's not on me. That's on you. Especially if I'm not intentionally being offensive, because trust and believe, I know how to be. I told you I can go from empathic bitch to petty bitch real quick. But if this is how someone gets their point across, if this is how someone expresses themselves, if this is how someone feels comfortable, sweetie, why would you try and take that away by being a fucking snitch? You did not have to listen. You did not have to read. You did not have to engage. But you decided it was your job to say, oh, you know what? She's messing with me. That's what you sound like. And I'm not even going down the Karen road. You just being a fucking child because you don't know how to handle your business, because you don't know how to make your money. When someone else is doing okay and they're not doing it based on your standards, your style, your comfort, you're going to go fucking tell? Seriously? And the more I think about it, the more I know somebody had to go and say some shit. Because I didn't put an asterisk in the word fuck. You know what it is? F-U-C-K. The asterisk does not take the word away. It does not change the meaning. And if this had been the first time I had used the word fuck and they did it, okay, I would have got the message real quick. But seeing as how it's not, it's been all up and through my content. Now what's the problem? I'm confused.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one trying to find the perfect balance in life. Even at 15, I know that's bullshit. My mom wrote this awesome book called Balance is Bullshit. It's all about making your own decisions. It's time to stop chasing balance. Make a choice that's right for you right now. Life isn't meant to be perfectly balanced. It's meant to be lived with all of its ups, downs, sideways, and every single lesson it's got. So if you're dealing with tough decisions, this is the book for you. It'll get you in the right frame of mind to tackle anything that comes your way. Listen, you gotta embrace the scary shit. Don't let fear cloud your judgment. Trust yourself, because you have got what it takes. Say yes to what matters. Don't be afraid to say no to the rest. Do yourself a favor, check out Balance is Bullshit by my mom, Phyllis Williams Trotter. It's relatable, honest, and it'll make you think. Trust me, I would know. My mom is raising me to make my own decisions, and this book is like a high five from her to you. Make your own decisions and live life on your own terms, because balance, well, that's just a bunch of bullshit. Thank you so much for listening. Now go grab that book, dude.
But you're going to tell me that I misrepresented myself and I posted inaccurate profile information. No. Because my unofficial tagline is grandma's house is where personal brands go to grow the fuck up. How is that not a thing? Because you don't like it. And this is why some businesses can't get ahead, because people decide that, you know what, you're not doing it right. And if you don't please the masses, then we're going to say something. Go ahead. Because the thing that I know, the thing that I understand, sweetie, there are over 7 billion people in the world, and I can still make my money. Because LinkedIn is not the only platform. It's just the platform that I chose that was easiest for me as a business of one. And because I like the people and the connections that are on there, the content that's on there. But if I have to police myself, then you know what? I'm not going to do that. Chris asked me in the interview, he said, well, what if not going somewhere is going to impact your business? I still won't go. Now, if LinkedIn lets me back in, yeah, I'm going back to LinkedIn. Because again, like I said, that's my get down. But trust and believe, just like I left my first husband, the chick is making moves in the background. You're not going to have to worry about me, because it should not be a thing. It should not hinder someone from making their money because they use profanity, because they look different, sound different, don't pronounce words correctly. And this is for Wolf. I can still say regenerative. Inside joke with Wolf, y'all, seriously. But this is not going to be a long ass rant, but this is why I tell you, stop erasing your culture. And I'm talking about your chosen culture, because I can't erase being Black no more than I can take melanin out my skin. I just can't change that. But stop erasing your culture if it's what supports you. If there are people that stand behind you and how you do your business, don't erase that because some platform telling you that, oh, you offended somebody else, or that their policy says. I went so far as to look up hate speech, because I wanted to make sure that saying personal brands need to grow the fuck up wasn't considered hate speech. Because I wanted to make sure that I did not disrespect the LinkedIn house. And based on what I read, I ain't did shit. And like I said, I'm thinking it's more about my language, because they show damn wrong if they said that I misrepresented my identity. I have had my LinkedIn profile since before I started, since before my restaurant days. That's how long I've had that profile. I didn't do much with it back in the day. I didn't even do much with it when we had Big Mrs. Barbecue. But I was using the fuck out of it. I was using the fuck out of it as the ghetto country grandmother. And for that to be a thing now, yes, I'm offended. I am. Because I'm not here for the masses. I'm here for the few. Because I know I don't have the bandwidth for the masses. That's when I go from cussing to cussing folks the fuck out. There's a difference. And people that curse know that. Let me be clear though. Let me be clear. If I get back on LinkedIn, I'm not going to change the way I do things. I'm not going to stop using the word fuck unless they explicitly ask me to and tell me why. I'm not going to stick asterisks and stuff. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But most times I don't. But I'm not going to stick asterisks in words, because we are all grown ass people. We know how to spell ass, A-S-S, fuck, F-U-C-K, bitch, B-I-T-C-H. And I don't use that C word. That's just nasty. I don't know why I can't say that one. But neither will I erase my culture. Ghetto country grandmother is rooted in more than just 2 words. It is rooted in my parents. It is rooted in my grandparents. It's rooted in the neighborhoods that I grew up in on the streets of P.L.A.Y. It's rooted in how I want to be seen and how I want to be perceived. Because my roots run deep. When I step out, I feel like I'm representing more than myself. And I know some Black people say, oh, she don't represent me. And no, the fuck I don't. I told my daughter, when you go out, represent well, because you may be the only Black person some other cultures encounter. And they're going to judge every other Black person based on how you are. And I told her that for years. And I'm like, let me take this weight off my baby. That ain't got shit to do with her. She represents herself. But for me, I don't have a problem carrying that weight. Like I said, I don't go around waving my Black flag, but I do represent. And I will stand up for each and every one of them based on my terms, not based on somebody making me feel guilty, feel bad about it. Even the people that don't want me to represent them, bitch, I represent you too, because trust and believe, if I need to stand up for your fight, I'm going to be there. And I don't need you to thank me. I don't need you to acknowledge me, because I don't give a fuck. The words that I say at the end of my videos is not just me saying words. I don't have to like you to love you. We had a thing in our family. This is part of what being ghetto country means. There's a thing in the family like, you know what? When one got fight, we all got to fight. And it doesn't matter if they're wrong. You take the wrong behind doors and behind closed doors, and you let them know. You got me out here fighting like a fucking fool, and you know you were wrong. Don't do it again, because I'm only showing up for that fight once. But you don't get to play me. You don't get to manipulate me. You don't get to coerce me. You don't get to make me feel bad for being Black, for being loud. I did that to myself for a whole lot of years. I don't do it anymore. Ghetto Country Brand Mother is a personal brand that has its own language. It just happens to be the same language I speak. And I'm cool with that. If LinkedIn doesn't let me back on because of it, you know what? That's the story I'll be telling from now until. And even if they do let me back on, I'll still be telling the same story, because it's a prime example of why we shouldn't erase our culture, because folks have sensibilities. I'm not saying we all have to get along. I don't give a fuck about getting along. I don't give a fuck about liking everybody. But I do have mad respect for everybody. If I don't like your shit, don't bring it in my face. But I respect you to do what you want to do as a grown-ass person. Messing with kids, that's a different story. We ain't gonna go down that road. But someone telling me that I'm misrepresenting my identity because I choose to use these platforms for the Ghetto Country Brand Mother, as far as I'm concerned, that's disrespectful. Because you guys want people to be brands. You want them to put a price tag on their ass. You want to tell them that they have to compete. You want them to be as greedy as these corporations. And that's what personal branding is not. Sweetie, if you want to be an influencer and all that kind of stuff, and you want all eyes on you because you have some narcissistic need to be seen, that's fine. But when I talk about personal branding, about separating your who from your do, about not sacrificing but still making your coin and your quan, sweetheart, you don't have to erase yourself. Neither do you have to be invisible or diminished because you want mass appeal. Sweetie, having mass appeal still doesn't mean you're gonna make your money, because you can have as much appeal as you want. And if you don't know how to market your shit, you're still gonna be fucking broke. Ain't nobody checking for you, even as you put yourself in that thing to have that mass appeal. Because you don't know how to talk about your shit. You don't know how to represent your company, your business brand. Appealing to the masses is not all it's cracked up to be. We're using corporate tactics to brand people. It should not be a thing. We're saying, look at the competition. Sweetie, at this level, as a business of one, you ain't got no fucking competition. What you got is a need to have some brand awareness. Ain't nobody competing with you. Most folks don't even know who you are yet. And even then, you know what? I can't help you. Let me send you to another brand strategist. I don't have a problem, because I still make my money. I'm still there for my clients, because I don't want to be that person. So to tell me that I misrepresented my identity, I'm getting fucking mad again. And these are hot tears. These are not punk tears, as my sister would call them. But for you to tell me that I misrepresented my identity, I'm Phyllis Williams Straughter. I am the daughter of Helen and Philip Williams and the wife of Neil Straughter. I'm the mother of Morgan Straughter. I'm the sister of Veronica Pye. I'm the cousin of Erne Mothershed. I'm the niece of a whole lot of crazy aunties. But on these platforms, I am the ghetto country grandmother and I am the only fucking one. So recognize. That's all I got to say today, babies. I'll be back to my regular podcast next week. But trust and believe, they can kick me off their platform, but they can't change my get down. No. So y'all got shit to do. So 5, bullshit happens. So suck it up. 4, your voice is important. So speak up. 3, you make the world a more beautiful place. So show up. 2, life is good. So buck up. And 1, I love you and ain't a damn thing you can do about it. So shut the fuck up. Peace and hair grease, y'all. I'm out.
All right, brand babies. We appreciate you stopping by because we know you got shit to do. Just remember to subscribe on your way out and bring a friend next time. In the meantime, and in between time, stay connected with your brand mother on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. The links are in the description. And your brand mother wants you to remember that personal branding is not just personal, it's also business.